I I call this little story sticky note stakes. Not too long after the original story happened when Bill was going to commit suicide and we staked out his property with Bible verse stakes, I got a call from a friend I hadn't seen in several years. Used to live here, and she moved off with her family, and she called me just out of the blue one day and said, Steve, something made me call you today. And I said, well, what's going on? She said, my husband and I and our two boys, we bought a new house recently. We moved into this new home, and when the kids are at school and my husband's at work, I start feeling guilty. When I'm just around the house cleaning all by myself, I start feeling guilty for all the wild oats I sowed when I was younger in high school. I spent a little time in rebellion before I became a Christian, and rebelled against my parents, and I ran with the wrong crowd, kind of a rough group. I did some drinking, and I said and did things I'm not proud of. And when I'm all alone in this home, this house we just bought, just by myself, cleaning or whatever, I start to feel guilty. I start thinking about all those things I did, and I feel guilty. And I said, well, when you became a Christian after that, did God forgive you of those things? She said, sure he did. I said, that's right. Now, does God remember those sins? She thought about that a minute, and then she said, no, he doesn't remember them. It says, I remember your sins no more. I put them as far away from me as the east is from the west. And I said, that's right. So God doesn't even remember your sins. So if you're being reminded of your sins, it isn't God, because he doesn't even remember them. Who would it be? She said it would be Satan or one of his demons. I said, that's exactly right. So I told her the story about the stakes of the Bible verses and how it led, it was a catalyst that ended up, Bill became a Christian, was baptized, and so she lived about an hour away, and she wanted to do something right then rather than wait for me to mail her some or make some. So she got a pad of sticky notes, and she wrote verses about God's promises to protect his people and God's promise of forgiveness. And she put those sticky notes on the wall in every room, like behind the pictures and just hidden spots in every room in that home. She put a sticker or two. And a couple of hours later, she texted me and she said, Steve, it worked. I put the sticky notes up with the verses on them all over my house and went back to my normal daily activities, and it dawned on me later, I'm not thinking about all those bad things I did and the guilt from that. You see, Satan wants you to focus on your failures and the fear that God won't forgive you. And all that's a lie. He does forgive. He doesn't even remember those sins. And God doesn't focus on your past failures. He focuses on your current situation and your future success for him and for the kingdom. So keep praying. God's still on the throne, and his word is still powerful. Love you.